8b Quadratic Formula by Catherine Vallis. The quadratic equation is used to find the zeros, or the x-intercepts of a graph. Therefore, you will get two answers. The discriminant, this part down here, is a part of the quadratic equation. If the discriminant is negative, you will have an I in your answers. If it is positive, you will not. This is because when you have an I on the outside, it represents a negative number inside the square root. Example 1, problem 10. So this is our first example, and the original equation is this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. From this, we can see that 8 is a, -2 is b, and -3 is c. As a hint, you should always make sure that the equation equals 0 before you start, or else it just makes things a lot more complicated. So first we're going to start with the quadratic formula, which is up here, and substitute in the values a, b, and c. So we have negative b, which is -2, plus or minus the square root of e, -2, minus 4 times a times c. Then the double negative cancels out, and we get this. When you simplify the discriminant, you see that it equals the square root of 100, right here. Since the square root of 100 equals 10, we can put 2 plus 10 over 16 equals 3/4, and 2 minus 10 over 16 equals 1/2. This way you get two answers, because you both added and subtracted. See this? That's the add and subtract mark. Example 2, problem 16. So here again, we're going to start with our quadratic formula and substitute in the values a, b, and c. We know that 2 is a, 8 is b, and 12 is c from our first example. So we simplify the discriminant, 4 times 2 times 12, to get 96, and 8 squared is 64. When you simplify that, it ends up being -32. This is where the I comes in, so you should watch that negative. The I goes in because it is the square root of a negative number, so you put the I out in front. When you simplify the square root of 32, it ends up being 16 times 2, and 16 is a perfect square, so you put 4 on the outside with the I, and 2 on the inside, because it's 4 squared, 16, times 2 equals 32. Then, since you can simplify 8 and 4 into 2 and 1, you don't need the 1 in the denominator. Then, all you do to get your answers is -2 plus or minus 4i square root of 2. And there you go. That's how you use the quadratic equation.